If you're considering making a move to North Texas, one of the first places that probably comes to mind is Frisco. After all, Frisco gets most of the attention, but directly north of Frisco is the town of Prosper. And depending upon what you're looking for, it might actually be the better choice. So in this video, I'm going to share some local knowledge with you about Prosper so that you can decide if it's somewhere worth taking a closer look at. I'm Andrew with the Andrew Smith team, eXp Realty here in Frisco, Texas. Spend a few minutes with me here as I share some things about Prosper and explain why it's a great fit for some buyers and a wrong fit for others. So let me start with giving you an overview of Prosper because it really sets up everything else that we're going to talk about in this video. Now, Prosper is a town of just over 50,000 people. It is growing very quickly, and it keeps landing on those lists of one of the fastest growing suburbs in the country, right along Celina, immediately to the north of it. But probably the number that tells you most about who lives here is the median household income, which right now sits at around $195,000. It's an area that's filled with corporate executives. You've got tech and medical professionals, also got professional athletes. You've got families here that are moving up from Dallas and they want to get out of the city. So it's really built up a reputation as an upscale, affluent community. And to be honest with you, that's a fair reputation. Now, the feel of Prosper is what people often ask me about. What's it like to live here? Well, if we look at Frisco first, Frisco has really become like a mini city at this point. You've got corporate campuses. You've got the Star, home of the Dallas Cowboys. You've got stadiums where FC Dallas play and their home. It's home to the Dallas Stars. You've got then all of that energy and all of that traffic that comes along with that type of area. Whereas Prosper, it still holds on to that more just outside of town feel, a little bit more country, a little quieter, a little less hectic. Now, saying that, I do want to be accurate about what Prosper is because it really has become a bit of a blend. For years, Prosper was really the place of large custom homes on acreage, spread out, sprawling, not uncommon to see horses roaming around, things like that in a country setting. And believe me, there is still quite a lot of that there. It's just that as the area's grown and the land has gotten more expensive, master plan communities started to fill in right alongside those sprawling estates. So it could be that you come out of a master plan community, drive just down the street, and all of a sudden you feel like you're miles and miles away again out in the middle of the country with horses and these grand estates. It really is old and new sitting side by side. So with that in mind, who is Prosper right for? Well, number one, it's the buyer who wants a little bit more room. Now, Prosper buyers tend to be somewhere that's looking for someone with a little bit more space and a little bit more upscale. And I want to get precise here because I'm not saying that every lot is an oversized lot and everything is on acreage, because it's not. It's that Prosper is not all big lots when you compare it to Frisco. The difference is going to show up more in the newer construction. So in many of the communities, the new construction communities in Frisco, for instance, you're going to have a mixture of 37-foot wide lots, 40-foot wide lots. Then you'll have 50s. Then you may have some 60s. Rarely now, but occasionally you'll still find some 70s. But with Prosper, you're not really going to find 40-foot wide lots. They don't really exist. The smallest is going to be a 50, and it's more often that you'll get some of those larger lots, 70, 80, 90, even 100. So it's definitely a place that's a little bit more spread out. So if that's what you're looking for, that's one of the types of buyer that really gravitates towards Prosper. Number two, it's the families looking to get into one of the absolute best school districts in the entire state. Now, Prosper ISD, it's definitely a major draw. It's an A-rated district, and what families moving in really seem to care about is the quality of the education across all grade levels. Because the district has grown so quickly, the facilities are first class. There's tons of new schools. It seems like there's there's more opening up all of the time. And if you've ever seen Friday Night Lights and want that Friday Night Light experience, you're definitely going to find it in Prosper. Just go ahead and Google Prosper ISD Stadium and you'll get an idea of what I'm talking about. Or take a look at Walnut Grove High School to get an idea of those facilities. So once you see that, if that's the type of environment that you want for your kids, then Prosper provides it. But there's a trade-off that's built into that model, and I'll get to that trade-off of what the trade-offs are with Prosper in just a minute. Now, the last type of buyer that I find gravitate to Prosper is those that definitely want new construction from one of the higher end builders. Think of Toll Brothers, think of Huntington Homes, there's Tradition Homes. Those are the type of builders that you're going to find in many of the communities in Prosper. If you're looking for a community that offers the best bang for buck, then Prosper's not going to be that community at all. Now, Prosper doesn't have as many active new builds as they did just a few years ago. One of the popular communities, Windsong Ranch, for instance, is just about closed out, but there's still plenty to choose from. They're still building in communities like Star Trail, Lakewood at Brook Hollow. Then you've got smaller pocket communities such as Starview. So if you're looking for a high quality builder on a lot that's just a little bit bigger, Prosper's newer communities are going to be a strong fit for you. Now, as I just mentioned, all of this comes, well, with some trade-offs. Now, they're not major depending on your situation, but they are there, so I want to be honest about them. And trade-off number one is cost. Now, Prosper has traditionally been one of the more expensive suburbs of the DFW area, and that lines up with its identity of being more exclusive, more affluent option. So, for example, the median price in Frisco right now is around $739,000. In Prosper, it is $867,000. So if your top priority is absolutely the lowest price per square foot, you're not going to want to look in Prosper. You're going to look in West McKinney or head up to Celina. Prosper is definitely the upscale choice, and it's something that you're going to pay for to have that address the schools and the reputation that come with it. Now, the second trade-off is with regards to property taxes. Now, if you're not familiar with it, Texas is a no income tax state, which is one of the appeals and one of the reasons people move here in the first place. But property taxes do tend to run a little bit higher. And in Prosper, they can run even more. And it's not that there's anything, drastically different about Prosper, with the exception of many of the communities have what's known as mud and PID taxes. They're special assessments, if you like. If you're seeing this from California, think of it more like a Melrose tax. They're definitely not deal breakers in most cases, but it's definitely important to know that going in, because different taxes are applied to different communities depending upon how it was set up with the builder. And it's one of the things that I usually help walk people through pretty carefully up front so they know exactly what it is that you're getting into. Now, number three, with regards to the trade-off, and this is true of anywhere that is a growing community, the area is still being built around you. Thankfully, the main east-west corridor, which is Highway 380, the expansion of that is now complete all the way through Prosper, and that has brought huge relief to traffic and commuting times in the area. But the Dallas North Tollway, for instance, which is the main road that goes from downtown Dallas all the way up, is still being built. It's being expanded through Prosper right now before heading up into Celina. So if what you're really looking for is a place where the road work's done, all the facilities are in, you're not going to be impacted by all of that, then Prosper might not be the best place for you. But as I mentioned, they are getting very close to being near the end, especially on the southern side of Prosper, but it's something I definitely wanted to point out. Now, here's where I think Prosper has done a really good job. In their planning, they've been very, very careful about what and who can move in. So the nice thing is that you're pretty much close to everything, but you don't necessarily have all of that corporate stuff going on right in your own backyard. Now, a lot of the amenities that didn't exist in Prosper are definitely there now. If you're not familiar with it, H-E-B, the Texas grocery store, you will be familiar with it if you come out this way. It's now open. You've also got the Gates of Prosper shopping area that is open and continuing to grow. That houses a Target. You've got Barnes & Noble Noble, you've got an REI, you've got a Nordstrom Rack, things like that. There's also restaurants there such as Outback, Texas Roadhouse, there's a J. Alexander's. There's more restaurants like that opening all the time. And then not far away in downtown Prosper, you've really got that quaint country feel. There's the Silos at the end of the road. You've got Black Hawk Brewing Company with a really nice patio deck up top. You've got some great coffee places that are opening up. You've even got another place that's a new wine bar. You've got the Gin, which is one of the originals built in an old cotton gin building. And for a town of this size, it's more than a lot of people expect. And I think the city planners there in Prosper have done a really good job in managing that growth. The other nice thing is that a lot of the new attractions in Frisco, and in that I'm talking the Omni PGA district where the PGA headquarters is, Fields West, the new shopping, dining and entertainment district, Firefly Park, another one. Those are all being built on the far north side of Frisco. So they're literally just the opposite side of Highway 380 from Prosper. So you've got very convenient access to all of that without it being fighting the traffic every single day of that being right in your backyard. It's a balance that's genuinely hard to find. As I said, I think Prosper have done a great job with it. And it's a big part of what keeps drawing people into the Prosper area. So with all of that in mind, who's Prosper not for? Who should not consider moving to Prosper? And I can save you some time here if you're looking for the absolute best bang for the buck, or you're looking for the lowest priced new construction, the lowest price per square foot. Prosper is definitely not for you. If you're looking for that, you're going to want to go into some of the newer communities in West McKinney or head further up into Celina. Also, if you're looking for a downtown area or something with a lot of nightlife or things going on like that, you're not going to get that in Prosper either. It's definitely more of the suburbs, right? You're going to have to go further out. You don't even get a ton of that in Frisco, to be honest. You have more of it, but you're not going to get a bar scene or clubs or things along that nature. That's not usually who's moving there, but again, I just wanted to be honest about that. So all that being said, let's pull it all together. Prosper is really for the buyer who wants the upscale, affluent setting, strong schools, a little bit more room, a little bit more of a country feel, possibly in a newer community that is still, well, close to everything, and who's comfortable paying the premium for that. So if that sounds like you, then there are few places in North Texas better than what Prosper has to offer. The harder part is that the right answer looks different for every single family, whether that's which community to focus on, being Prosper versus McKinney or Prosper versus Frisco, or what should I do, or what should I be considering Celina, or how the taxes actually work with these special assessments in the specific neighborhood you're considering. Well, luckily, those are the type of things that I help families just like you work through each and every week, quite often months before they ever set foot in Texas. So if you're even thinking about making a move here and you want more information on Prosper and the immediate surrounding area, then I invite you to reach out. Please know that I offer everyone a 30-minute free consultation call where we can walk through all of the different requirements that you have, and I can help match you with the location, the community, the builder that best suits your needs. There's a link to that in the description below. So hopefully you found this video useful. I invite you to like and subscribe to this channel if you'd like to be informed of more updates like this. Hopefully I'll get to talk to you soon, and we will see you in the next video.